Yay!
Yay, indeed. Hi, everyone.
We have all our eager beavers already waiting.
Yay!
Yes!
Welcome, everybody. Hi. Oh, I was going to just make sure I have that link teed up for us. Yes, I do. All right.
There's an interesting beginning. I see him in the comments. Marina, my main character is an army veteran. He is homeless. His wife has left him and he has a drink problem. Is he allowed to swear? I would assume that he does.
I would say not
That
only
would
is
seem rather realistic.
it is mandatory. I think. Like, be true to your character. There's no better example than that right there. Hey, everybody. Wow. Ontario, Saskatchewan. Happy deadline day. Welcome, everybody. Oh, tardy girl. Chuck is here from Mobile. Great to see everybody. Alyssa, Marlene, Sarah Jane from Bonnie, Scotland. Yay. And wet and rainy Houston, Texas. Almost like Scotland. Very similar. Welcome. So we usually just kind of vamp for a minute or two while folks are joining the stream and grabbing their virtual seats. So Beth here from AutoCrit. I have Gareth with me as well as Daniel today. And we are here to wrap up our community writing challenge on submission day. We do have the big party tomorrow, so don't forget about that. Today, we're just here to answer any remaining questions you might have about your submissions, if you choose to submit your short story for inclusion in our trophy anthology, which last year's looks like this. Printed, gorgeous, lovely. And we call it a trophy anthology. Why? Gareth, do you want to talk about that a little bit? Why we call it a trophy?
Yes, it is a trophy because it is only printed. Beth has the special privilege of being the only member of the team here that actually has one. But it's literally only printed for the winners. So I think last time we picked 10. It can sometimes be more than that if a story is really, really short, but just like, blows the judges' minds, well, then it's going to go in there, and we may need an extra story to bulk up that page count, because we want to give you something that's feels a little, I don't want to say chunky, but at least pretty good for your shelf. So obviously it's not going to be only 70 pages long.
Yeah, this one's about 127, 130 pages.
So this will be printed only for the winners. So if we go off last year, we will say 10 people in the world will have a copy of this. 11 if you include Beth. So that is what's happening. And as we've explained or said before too, it's not an official publication. It's not tied to an ISBN. There's nothing that is involved in this that will then prevent you from, even if you are a winner, from taking your story and submitting it elsewhere. It's not a reprint. I know some people do get worried about this, but the way I like to put it, and you may have seen a comment in our public Facebook group that I commented over the weekend, it was me, you would not specify to a publisher that something is a reprint because you personally printed 15 copies to give to friends and beta readers and people that were helping you finalize it. No, just because it's on paper does not make it an actual official print. So don't worry about that.
Awesome. Also, yes, the cat made her first appearance of, I'm sure to be many. She's a little crazy right now. But we already have some terrific questions coming in through the chat. So let's start kind of knocking those off one by one. I did go ahead and post the link for uploading your submissions in the chat. Those also went out this morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, I believe, via email. So check your email, check your spam box, check your junk mail, just in case. If it's not there, the link is in our chat. But if you're watching this on replay or you missed it in the scrolling chat, feel free to click that blue bubble in the bottom right corner of our AutoCrit.com page or anywhere within inside our AutoCrit editor. And support is happy to help you out with that.
I see a comment there or a question from Anne Can't we buy it too? No, you cannot. This is super
Sorry.
exclusive. No, we do not sell it. We do not
Super
do anything.
exclusive.
Because
You
if we
have to
were
win.
if we were to sell it and make it available, then yes, that would be a publication, and thus there would be copyright and rights issues involved. We want to make sure that everybody who has taken part in this challenge and pushed themselves to actually get something written and down has the opportunity to then take that work and put it out to market. That's the whole point. Is this may well be your launch pad to actually being published if you have not yet. That's what we want to do. That's our goal. Is to make you get something done and get it sold.
Excellent. A couple folks have asked in the chat and also in our community, what about names and titles, and is there a cover page? So there's no cover page required, but do be sure you put your name and the title of your story in that document somewhere. People just put it right at the top of the first page, and that's absolutely fine, as long as we know the title and who you are, so we can reach out to you. If you are selected for the anthology, then that's all that's required.
I can see Isabel missing us since the end of the horror class.
Oh,
yes, miss you too, Isabel.
What did you do, Isabel?
There's a good segue, I guess, to start with as well, is make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube to the channel, and you'll be seeing a lot more of us.
Spoiler! No.
Is that a threat, Gareth?
Maybe, yeah, depending on your outlook, possibly. Isabel, the story has to be written in Times New Roman or another one. The other one is Courier or Courier New, is the standard for manuscripts. But can the title be different? Yes. We're not going to throw it out just for that.
Yep. Daniel, you see any questions on your side in the chat there you want to jump in with?
Yeah, I'm looking. Do you need a bio? No, right? You don't need a bio for the author. Yeah.
No need.
Yeah.
No. Nope. Just your name and a title. Oh, and does a header with page numbers disqualify? No, that's fine. In fact, the header might be a good place to also have your title and your actual name. So yeah, absolutely. I'll look at Larry. Oh, truer words have never been spoken. Abridging my 7,800 short story to 5,000 words was more difficult than I thought. And I think that is such a learning from this challenge for those of us who typically write in the longer form. It's hard. It's very difficult.
It is.
Yeah. Welcome to my world, Larry.
Mm-hmm. Getting it down and making sure you still keep the essence of the story and that it makes sense and that it's, three-dimensional enough. It's hard. This is why we love reading great short stories, because it's truly a craft that you have to hone. Yeah.
Some people are asking if they did not put their name on the actual document, it's just on the form, should they resubmit?
No, that's fine.
We'll figure it out.
When you form on our end, it comes through and it just tells us, everything you filled in, the name, email address, and the file attached. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Inserting my name means I crossed the 5,000 limit by 3. Is that okay? No, you must delete 3. No, it's okay.
Henceforth, you will only be known as a symbol, so you don't count against that word count. No, that's totally fine. And we had a similar question around, does your title count against your word count and that kind of no.
Right.
I will clarify, if your title is 1,400 words long, then we're going to have to talk about that.
We might be going to talk about story mechanics, formatting.
I'm gonna just send you straight over to the story doctor to get some help with what might be going on with your 1,400 word title. But no, all of that is fine. Striving to keep the story with that 5,000 word limit is hard enough when you have to think about titles counting and your name counting and things like that. Those are completely fine.
And then on the opposite side we have is too short, 3,000 words, okay. Yes, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, a short story can be 800 words. We do kind of prefer looking at it, as I said before, about picking so many winners to try to fill this, a semi-substantial page count so that the print actually feels good in your hand. We were looking for around 1,500 minimum, but if something is shorter than that, but as I said before, blows the judges' minds, well, then it's going in there. There's no way around it.
Yeah. Awesome. So, Lynn, great question. What is the deadline for submission? So the deadline for submission is tomorrow at noon Eastern time. So Tuesday, May 24th at noon Eastern. That's included in that email that went out this morning as well. And again, this live stream here right now, 1 o'clock on Monday, May 24th, is just here to answer any questions. So load them up in the chat if you have any questions for us about the submissions themselves. I just saw one that I wanted to make sure we grabbed. Oh, Gareth, now I know we have, did I say something different? Tuesday, May 25th is when it's closing. And today is the 24th. And I'm looking right at it on my computer and it's still. So Tuesday at noon is the deadline. Today is Monday. And on
Yes,
that note,
you still have a day. Don't worry.
Do I look uncertain because I feel uncertain?
Fine.
Yeah, thank you. So, Gareth, question from E.R. Hoffer in our chat says, who are the judges and what are they looking for? And I know we can't really disclose who's on our panel. Can you talk a little bit more about that and what the judges are going to be looking for?
Yeah. I hate to be. I don't know if snippy is the word, but we're looking for
be
good,
snippy, Gareth. Let it out.
Looking for good fighting. There is no.
We want it to be good.
There is no real target that we're looking for. That's kind of why, as part of this challenge, that a theme wasn't given or anything like that. It's just totally open because we have a wide range of tastes on everybody behind the scenes. Of course, part of the judges will be the AutoCrit team. Myself included. I know Daniel will be involved. But we also have, if you have gone along with us for the past couple of weeks, you'll have seen a few of our sponsors appearing and whatnot. I'm not going to say 100%, but some of them may be involved in the judging too, behind the scenes. We simply didn't really think that it was necessary to, for something like this, which is just like a free challenge and something for the community to really come together around and get butts in seats and words on pages, that it was necessary to have, like you would see on a web page with a spread of all these faces, and this is the person judging. That's the kind of thing that goes into getting people to pay $60 to go into some kind of challenge or sweepstakes and things like that. Since this is just a community endeavor and just something we're doing, we didn't really feel that was necessary. So, yeah, the judges are spread across the AutoCrit team and our friends. Let's just put it that way.
Friends, absolutely. So, a couple of questions to make sure I don't miss in our chat here. Akshani, we got you. No worries. You're all good. Let's see. The winners. So we're targeting for there to select 10 people to go in our 2021 trophy anthology. That being said, the winners will be contacted. There may be more than 10, but 10 is what we're aiming for, and those winners will be contacted by email. That being said, we don't know how many submissions we're going to get, so we're not sure yet exactly how long it's going to take us to get through those. I believe our target is, when is it? July 1st, right, Gareth? To have those squared away?
I would have to look completely at our calendar, but I believe our goal for announcements of the winners is within the next 2 weeks. It's not going to be. Last time was
June
a bit
1st,
longer
maybe.
than that.
No, that's not right. Mid-June.
But we certainly hope to move quickly, so you're not you're not stuck in limbo.
Yeah, absolutely. So more information coming from that. And Marlene has a good question in the chat as well. Just submitted and there was a box to pay. I thought this was free. Wow, yes. And submission is free, absolutely. Given the volume of submissions that are coming in already, and we all kind of have a forecast of how many we're going to get total, we made it available to purchase specific story critique feedback from the AutoCrit team as an option, a complete and total option for you to purchase if you want to do that at the time of submission. So yes, submission is free if you want that written feedback. And Gareth, can you tell us a little bit more about what is involved in that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is what we kind of came across was we saw quite a few people who are taking part in the challenge would contact us and ask, can I get full feedback? What you'll normally find when you submit to any kind of publication, 90% of the time, is if you were to be rejected, is you will receive a form rejection. It's literally just a copy paste email that says this is not for us, or sorry, you didn't make it, and there's nothing more than that. Now, again, that's simply just a byproduct of the sheer volume that publishers are dealing with. And in the case of this challenge, again, just being a free community challenge through AutoCrit is much the same on our side. If you didn't know already, we are an extremely small team. AutoCrit is not a giant sprawling business. We may be spread around the world, but there's only a handful of us. But people were asking, can I get proper feedback on these things? So we thought we'd make that an optional extra, which of course, a couple of things, reasons for making it paid is obviously it cuts down on the number that come through because we don't want to have 2,000, for example. That would be really hard for us to manage. So yeah, it's an optional extra. When you submit your file to us, it will then send you to the order form if you would like some full written feedback. And that full written feedback will be a complete critique of your story in a number of ways. You'll get your story itself commented on throughout, the things that stand out, much like you would find with one of our first chapter critiques or story inspections, these other services that we do in terms of reading through your work and actually giving you professional feedback. You'll get that throughout the story, plus the kind of judge's thoughts in a document, and letting you know all of these things. Kind of, this is, well, I don't want to say this is why it didn't make it, because you might actually get feedback on a piece that won. If you decide to pick up that feedback package, well, then you'll get feedback on a piece that made it in. What we hope to do is give you a professional set of eyes and tell you the things that work, the things that don't work so well, and what you can do next. Because, as I said earlier, I mean, ultimately, our goal is that you have written something that is worthy, that you can take out and send to publications and say, hey, I'd like to be a part of this anthology, or I'd like to be a part of this magazine, and successfully sell that piece and become a professional, legitimate, published author. So whatever we can do to help you do that is what we're aiming for. But it's totally optional, as I said. It's not necessary at all to get in the running for being our judge's pick. Oh, and one thing that's on the form as well: opting for a review or for a critique will not affect the judge's choice.
Positively or negatively.
It's not going to influence anybody. So if you think, oh well, I'll pay the money and get a professional critique of this piece, that might put me in the judge's favor. No, it won't. They will not know that you took up the optional critique as well. So get that out of your mind.
Completely separate tracks.
and the place where you see this option is after you upload your story. It'll take you to a little thank you page, and the information is right there. So once you upload your story using, I'm just going to post it one more time there. The link, again, I put in the chat one more time in case anybody missed it scrolling back up through there. After you submit and you're in for consideration to be part of that anthology, that option to get your short story critique is right there on the next page. So, yeah, I think that covers it.
I see CC Sullivan, where do we access that feedback package? It comes up when you submit through the form there if you upload something. If you've been through that and missed it or lost it, I believe we will have emails going out from tomorrow after we've done our prize draw, because some of these things will be in the prize draw too. So you'll get an email that'll give you a direct link if you do, kind of missed it to begin with, and you can pick it up. So don't worry about that.
I'm just scrolling back through the comments because I got a little behind here. If we've missed you, let me know. Titles and chapters. Technically, like they wouldn't count. They kind of technically count the word count, but if it's a title chapter and it's over by a few because of titles and chapter names and stuff like that, definitely. I think that was Liz. Don't worry about that one with Liz.
Yeah, don't worry about that. The ancillary details, such as title and author and whatnot, that's not part of the word count. The word count is the story itself. So don't worry about that. That's not technically pushing you over. Kitty, I see you're removed my name from the manuscript because you read somewhere we needed to. No problem. The form itself that you upload on, it's necessary to put in your name and email address. We'll connect those for you.
Yeah. Chuck had a really great question, which I love. What if I think my story is horror, but it's really suspense? And this is such a good question because it can apply to all genre. One of the questions on the form when you submit is, what genre is this? Take a guess, and the judging is not going to be swayed either way. If my opinion is that was suspense, and Gareth, who thinks everything is horror, says that it was horror, for example, and Daniel, who is a fantasy fan, is like, this is definitely a fantasy story. So take your best guess. It's not a right or wrong answer. It just gives us a little bit of guidance as to what to kind of what frame of mind to be in to read your story, which I think might play into another question that I saw. Stephen.
Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
No, Gareth is getting all the romantic comments.
Gareth definitely gets all the rom-com.
He already called dibs on it a long time ago.
Chick lit, any of that.
I did. I literally called dibs.
Dibs on all the rom-coms.
Literally on rom-coms.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. When it comes to the judging, everybody will read everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not divvied up because I think that just muddies the waters in terms of engaging with biases when it comes to judging. So it's not a good idea. At the end of the day, good writing is good writing. That's really what's being looked for across the board.
Chicklet goes awry. Now that Gareth would be all about.
Now we're talking. Now that's really specific. Yeah. Love this question from Isabel. Can we add a note at the bottom of the page to give credits to the person who's helping with the translation? I love that idea. I think it would be great. Don't put too many notes because we don't want to just artificially inflate that word count. What do you think, Daniel and Gareth?
I mean,
yeah, sure. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah. Credits are yours. You can put in credits.
It feels good to give people kudos for good work. So
it really does.
absolutely.
I enjoy that. So Chicklet goes awry. I just scrolled down to that.
There's a lot of reading. I like that. Thank you, Bruce. Hope there's a bar involved somewhere. I have a Dove bar in my restroom. Oh, that's not what you meant. Okay. The bar exam is what it feels like sometimes when you're like reading all this stuff. I love slush piles. I don't know about other people.
Right?
It's fun.
Anne has a really good question.
I'd like to know about other challenges and contests this year. Will there be any?
I think we can say absolutely yes.
Yes.
What exactly they will be, we don't know right now, but there will be more. It's kind of the AutoCrit ethos right now, is keeping everybody consistently engaged and busy. We're here to basically be that fire under your seat to get you writing and get your career moving on. That's what we're here for. So yes, we will have more things like this coming up.
Yeah. We'll have a pie eating contest and a duck calling contest. We have
Sign me up for
so much
that.
If we want to do a hot wing eating contest, I'm all for that.
There you go.
The U.S. has a severe chicken wing shortage, so I feel like that one's at risk. Oh, are there other prizes? What are they for? So should we do a bit of? We haven't talked much about any of the prizes that we're giving away, and we're trying to hype this big celebration prize draw giveaway for tomorrow, but we haven't really talked about what that is and why people should show up for that. So what do you say? Should we talk a little bit about those now?
No, I'm going to keep it in suspense.
Yeah, that seems
well.
Right.
Let's just say there is a wide range of prizes. Some of them will be things from our friends and sponsors that have joined us throughout the past couple of weeks. So yes, we will have. Of course, it's already publicly known that one of the prizes is a deluxe book cover design package from our friends at BookBaby, who are just so generous to give us these kind of things. So everybody that's taken part is in the running to have just a fantastic book cover designed.
Yeah.
And there will be various other things, including, as you might expect, AutoCrit memberships. Of course.
Of course. Of course.
Dun, dun, dun.
So definitely AutoCrit memberships. Our Story Doctor appointments, or Story Doctor show, where you kind of sit in the waiting room and you get a few seconds to ask the Story Doctor a question. And by Story Doctor, I mean Daniel, who's, if I'm trying to point at him and he's down there.
It's like the Brady Bunch. Right?
It really is. So those were so wildly popular during this challenge. We actually have at least one Story Doctor appointment. So this is a special appointment, 30 minutes one-on-one with the Story Doctor to ask any questions, get any help, what have you. So that is another one of the prizes we'll be giving away tomorrow. And we talked about some of our fantastic guests providing some prizes. You know, we had Jay Thorne on with us for a live stream, and I know his book, The 3-Story Method, is one of the prizes we'll be giving away tomorrow. And I believe we will also be giving away at least one of the critiques, the short story critiques. So definitely, if you feel lucky, you can wait and see if you win one tomorrow. But if you are submitting today and don't want to just take that chance, then go ahead and grab that story critique after you've uploaded your story for submission.
I see Bob. Damn, can't be here live tomorrow. Don't worry, Bob, because if you do get drawn on the stream and you win, you don't have to be there to win. We'll get in contact with you by email. So,
can we win 30 minutes with your cat?
Don't worry.
I love it. I feel like it's gonna become like one of those charity auctions. It'll be like throwing the most random.
30-minute Zoom meeting with my cat. I mean,
I love the person that asked whether or not we wrote somebody during this. Jack, did you all write a story during this competition that you'll share with us? I feel like at some point we need to do something like that.
I was just talking to our owner Jocelyn this morning, and I said, "Wow, these prizes!" We were talking about the BookBaby Deluxe book cover design and some of the other things we're giving away, and I was like, "Man, I really wish I could win this, and I'd love to get a critique, but." Also, I forgot to write a short story during this challenge because I was, doing the challengey thing, and that was a real disappointment to me. So I feel like, hey, community, why don't you guys run a challenge? And Gareth, no, I don't want to finish that statement because somebody will actually do it, and then I'll have to do it. And not ready to do it.
I was joking around that I was going to submit under a pseudonym, and maybe I did. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't do that. Maybe sometime I'll do it though, just to pull a switcheroo at the end and be like, aha!
The prize anthology ends up being only stories from the AutoCrit team, all under pen names.
No, probably what
The
would
ultimate
really
cheat.
would really happen is at the end of it, I'm like, so what did everyone think of that story? And they're like, oh yeah, that got erased in the first round. I'm like, okay.
So speaking of
That was just so
prizes,
contrived. I couldn't handle it.
this is so familiar. I've read it before. Oh, right, because I read a draft of something Gareth wrote already, and I was like, oh, right. Wow, copycat much? Oh, it's actually your own work. Okay. A couple of questions have come up in the chat. Speaking of prizes, if you win something like an AutoCrit subscription, but you're already lifetime, what do you do? Usually what we do with that is offer an alternative prize, an entry into a couple of our courses. For example, we've done that in the past. So if a lifetime member wins a lifetime subscription, or an annual wins, if an annual subscriber wins annual, we tack that on to the end of your subscription. So instead of 1 year, you would have, I guess, 2 years. If you win an annual subscription and you're already lifetime, we generally will offer like an enrollment in one of our courses, or some story doctor appointments, or a what's it called? I've just drew a complete blank. A first chapter review, for example.
Yeah, we'll offer some kind of service.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, an alternatives service. Can we submit 2 stories? No. 1 per challenge participant.
Pick your best.
1 per human. I know. Pick your favorite, and that's the worst, but yes.
I like the 3 short stories that everyone can read and they can guess. Maybe what we should do sometime is not quite as involved with that, but like one of those games, like a story prompt game. We put up a story prompt and then we, on the fly, come up with something, and then we see if the audience can figure out which one of us said whatever. Maybe we could do that one time for a while. That'd be fun.
We've had some fun games come through with this.
Because and then what would be fun is just to mess with you. I would like always do a horror thing, and I'm sure Gareth would do something sci-fi or fantasy just to see if you're paying attention.
Yeah, we'll get Daniel
some, like, meandering.
Get Daniel to do a hardcore horror, and I'll do a heartwarming romance.
A holiday romance.
Christmas romance.
That's what
that'd be great.
That's what I need from you right now, Gareth.
But it needs to be like Arbor Day, because that's not done enough.
Although
an Arbor Day romance.
An Arbor Day romance.
Speaking of fun games and challenges, I don't know if you want to highlight it there on the screen, Beth. Lisa Van Galen, my piece from last year's Destination Unknown challenge was just published in an online magazine.
Wait,
woo! That's awesome.
That? Oh my gosh!
So in case people aren't aware, Destination Unknown is something we did again last year. We will be bringing that back. Again, in case you didn't know, I am the twisted mastermind behind the abuse that you
didn't know, he says.
that you go under when you undertake Destination Unknown. This is where we give you an opening line. You must use that opening line, and then we let you write away on a story for a few days, and then we give you a little twist in the middle, something that you must incorporate, and then we let you continue to write around that twist, and then in the end, for the last couple of days, we give you a finishing line that, again, you must use. And sometimes this really just pickles the mind of a lot of people, because I wrote something and now I have to work this in and I don't know how that's going to work. So it really gets your creativity going, and fantastically. So that's so great.
Little twist. I love that. He's like, yeah,
a little twist, he says, and I'm pretty sure
that what happened here.
Is that what we're calling it? Because I'm pretty sure people cried last year. It was
there were some strong reactions.
There were some strong reactions last year. It was so fun, and I just have to. So I'm catching up on the chats over here. I just have to giggle for a second. A Cashney.
And what was the last line last year?
It's better.
I think the we did it a couple of times last year. I think the most recent one was it I'd rather be a bird than a fish?
Yes. Oh.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Come on. That was the final line. that broke.
That'd be a
The group-
hard
the
first
group
line to
just
start
blew
with,
up.
let alone
Like
the
it
last
just
line.
blew up. It just blew
to
up.
give you a peek behind the scenes, I actually sit here and come up with about 10 different, and then the team all gets together and it's like, what's going to be the most disruptive or what's the most interesting, and then we decide on one. But we do a lot of brainstorming and coming up with options behind the scenes.
It's true. It's true. Cece from the Right Chapter has a great question in our chat. Will we get a session with you guys with your general reactions? Yes. So when we have the final candidates, inclusions, what am I calling it? The winners for the anthology. When we have those selected, we will do a live stream to celebrate those stories. We generally give, just a couple comments about why we loved the story, why it was picked, why our judges really thought it was worthy of inclusion in that trophy anthology. And we just chat about it and celebrate it. And people like it when you say their names on the internet. I mean, usually when you say them correctly, you know who I'm talking to right now.
It's true.
Yeah. They like it even better when you pronounce them correctly. But yes, we'll have a huge celebration when we announce the winners and talk about, at a high level, some of the content of the stories. And we won't give away too much. Now, if the authors of those stories want to share their stories out with the community, if they want to post them in the group or post them in our Mighty Networks, that's up to the author. But the trophy anthology will not be for sale. It will not be available for anybody except, well, me and the people who and the winners whose stories are included here. Oh, question about using pen names to submit and our real names to pay for the critique. Is this okay? Gareth, I think that's fine, right? Because this form is one thing, and can you help me piece those together? I think that'll be okay, right?
What's that? Apologies. Repeat.
Let me just pull this one. Franca and Brian both. We used our pen names to submit our stories and used our real names to pay for the critique. Yeah.
If they are completely different, like mine is, we'll have no way of knowing who you are. So if you're worried about that, just do the usual. Pop onto the AutoCrit website, hit the little blue chat bubble, and pop a message over saying, "Hi, these two are me," and we'll get that.
Perfect. Oh, in the Facebook group, there was a note. There was a note in the Facebook group, and we really are trying to adhere generally to this standard. Saying let's see, I'm just going to pull this up.
Works under 1,500.
Works under 1,500 and over 6,000 won't be considered. Is this accurate, or am I in trouble for being over? The top limit is much more strict than Gareth has mentioned earlier in this show. If somebody has a very, very short story and they submit it and it blows the judges away, then yes. But I can tell you the upper limit truly for this challenge is 5,000. So if you submit something that is 1,000 words over that, you're likely to be disqualified.
Yes, you do have to think about it, and the way we are approaching it is as though we are a literal publisher that has put out a call for submissions. If a and this is just part of helping everybody, again, get into that professional mindset, that professional space. If you go to a website that says we're open for submissions, this is the theme, word limit is 5,000, and you send a story that is 7,000 something, the person on the other end, the publisher, is going to open your email or open your file, and if that number begins with a 7, it's immediately discarded. Because you have not acted within the guidelines. So if for this challenge particularly as well, if a file comes through and we open it and that number begins with a 6, it's disqualified. It's really that simple. So a little over 5,000 is not a problem. I guess the way to put it there is if I open the file, or anybody in the judging opens the file, whoever's processing them to begin with, sees the number beginning with a 5 or below, well, then you're generally okay. If it begins with a 6, it will not be considered.
So JC, I think that answers the first part of your question. You're still okay at 5676. And if you have a fixed version, you can resubmit. And they can go just back through the link again, right, Gareth? Or will that?
Yeah, for sure. The form
double
itself,
or-
you can load that up and submit. Not that I'm saying to do it, so I would generally don't share it publicly because then you get all the, online bots and whatever trying to overload your form. But yes, you can submit it as many times as you want. So if you do find that you've uploaded the wrong version, simply go back and upload. But if you could amend your file name to have like V2 or final version or something on the end, so that we know that this is the version you actually meant to upload. No problem at all. We don't mind
right.
that.
Yeah. Final. No, really. I mean, at this time, that's how I name mine. So I am testifying like final is my jam.
Yeah, final V2 final.
Gareth's seen my file names. He knows.
Franca, I see your comment there. Just to be completely clear about that, pop onto the AutoCrit website, so autocrit.com, and there's a little blue chat bubble in the bottom right corner that connects you directly to our support team. So if you click that, you can just type a message right away and just type in that window and say, "Hi, this is me, and this is my pen name that I uploaded."
Yeah,
and we'll connect the dots from there.
Yes, absolutely. It's the number starting with 6. If it's 600, that's
Yeah.
663.
666.
It's 6, probably a little too short. 60, also pushing it.
Yeah. 6 slash changes for for real this time.
Not really trying to go for the haiku.
.doc. Yes. Haiku.
I mean, I love me some haiku, but that's not really the challenge.
Wait, I tried to click on Cece's comment and I got Brian's instead, so I'm just
gonna earn one of them exclusive books. I just love how it's like this cowboy coming into town. I'm gonna earn one of them exclusive books.
Y'all got any more of them trophy anthologies?
I loved this from Cece Sullivan. Really enjoyed, especially because of the challenge group. Thank you. Is there a way to keep in contact via an AutoCrit forum or group? So yes, absolutely. There are 2 ways. One is, of course, in that public AutoCrit authors Facebook community. So it's a group on Facebook. It is available to literally anyone, even if you have never heard of AutoCrit. And oddly, there are a lot of people in there who still never heard of AutoCrit, even though it's called the AutoCrit Author Community. But super fun community, very supportive, very positive. We work hard to ensure that stays clean and supportive and fun and engaging and wonderful. The alternative, which sounds a terrible segue. The other way you can keep in touch with us is through our private AutoCrit members only community, which is on a platform called Mighty Networks, and you can find it at community.autocrit.com. Now, that community is specifically for AutoCrit professional and elite members only. So if you have a free forever account, you can join that Facebook group. If you have a professional monthly, annual, lifetime, or if you're an elite member, you can join that Mighty Networks community and engage even more with AutoCrit enthusiasts, with authors just like you, and with goofballs like the 3 of us on your screen right now.
I saw a question from Charlie wondering, well, a little worried that the upload didn't complete. While Beth was speaking there, Charlie, I went and checked the form, and we got yours. So, all good.
Yeah, you asked and we answered.
Real-time updates. Sorry, the cat just turned off my power.
Somebody, John says, I titled the file titled my story, but I didn't include it on the body of the story or in the header. I didn't put my name on it. Should they resubmit?
No,
it's fine. All the details are all in the form.
Totally fine.
So, again, don't worry. No need to stress. It's all in fun at the end of the day.
Do the AutoCrit judges feel like they've opened up Pandora's box with the oncoming submissions? I don't really think of it like that. It's more like the cliche would be more like Forrest Gump, right? You never know which one you're going to get, because we do get some excellent work, and we also get work that's interesting.
It's so fun, right? A Pandora's box that's filled with chocolates, and then even inside the chocolates, you don't know what's going to be there.
And let's be honest, if you've watched The Story Doctor, you can tell I do have a fascination with writer mistakes, partly because it helps me analyze, why something doesn't work and things like that. So really, I like the whole spectrum of writing, and I like creativity, even creative works that don't measure up to what the author wants. I still find them interesting. I don't know. Does that make me like a glutton for punishment? I don't know what that makes me.
I did see a question earlier about previously how many entries we had. To put it in context again, as I said earlier, about being such a small team as well. Last year when we did this challenge, it was a little bit north of 500 submissions that we had. So yeah, it's an undertaking.
We've got many more participants this year. I'm going to say like 40% more. I don't do math, so I'm going to stop talking, but we have
we have a lot of people that signed up, at least in the initial stage. We'll see how many of them went the distance and, finished the work, because that's the hard part, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Someone also asked for that $1 link, and I am trying desperately to put my hands on it. Gareth, do you or Daniel have it on your screen already?
Not immediately, but I can grab it.
Oh, that would be rad. So we do have, for those of you who are who work well under pressure and are still editing, let's say that, rather than procrastinate, because that sounds terrible. We do have a 14-day trial of full professional AutoCrit subscription level benefit for $1. Garrett's going to get that link for us. We will post it in the chat. We will post it also in the comments if you're watching this video later. That also is always available. Yes, take advantage of that and take those 14 days and or day and a half. Oh, here's the link. Great. Awesome.
I see also, just so that it doesn't get buried, I'm going to catch it. Daryl, thank you for the reminder there. Luis, good to see you, Luis. If there are words in another language, should we post the translation, or is there a section of the submission form to enter the translations? It's not necessary. If you're using words in a different language within the narrative of your story, whether or not you post the translation is entirely a narrative choice. So again, that's up to you. Is the reader supposed to understand this, or are they not? That's something you have to work with yourself. And that made me think, because I had a really fun conversation with my wife in the car a couple of days ago, where I thought it would be super fun to do a scene in a story, or specifically to my mind, it was in a film, in a screenplay, where early on these, I want to say protagonists, but to make this work, they would have to be total trash. So essentially works at a horror story where they're going to be killed. But let's just say they have a bunch of people held hostage, for example, and you have one of the characters tells them in a different language. We were talking at the time specifically Spanish, but lays out the entire story. Is like, we're here for this. We have this thing trapped. This is how you beat it. This is what's going on. We're looking for this. Don't open the door. You'll let it out. It'll kill us all. But these guys don't understand Spanish, and they're just like, is this guy threatening us or whatever? I thought that would be super fun to have that. So if you were sitting there watching the movie and you actually understood the language, you would be like, he's literally telling them everything, and they're so idiotic and ignorant that they're going to ignore it all. That would be super fun. So it's just up to you. Again, it's part of the narrative if it's in there. You will very rarely, I guess, see a lot of books that will introduce something in a different language that, say, a character says or is in part of the narrative prose that then has a footnote, that gives the translation of it. It's not a common thing that you will see. So it's up to you to decide whether or not the translation is necessary. But it's something you can easily play with and have a bit of fun with.
I'm just scrolling through and catching up on the comments. And first of all, please feel free to join our Gareth fan club. You know who you are. You know who I'm talking to out there. Yeah, it's the accent. So quick question about the Destination Unknown challenge. So people are asking, gosh, what other challenges and competitions and fun things are we going to do with AutoCrit this year? We're open possibilities. Last year when we did Destination Unknown, remember that was the opening sentence and it had to be used as that sentence. You could, maybe make a small tweak, make it dialogue instead of prose, but had to use the opening sentence, and that had to be the very first one. Then we didn't give you a middle, we gave you a twist. So whatever path you thought you were on with that opening sentence, it likely got muddied up with that twist. And the twist could be anything from like remove all your adverbs to, I can't remember some of the twists we did last year. But then the last week of it, we gave you the closing sentence. And yes, again, that closing sentence, just like the first one, had to be the very last sentence. Literally every single story had to end exactly the same way, with the same sentence verbatim. It was so fun. And yes, I saw people saying like there was much swearing in the group when that final sentence about I'd rather be a fish than a bird or something was announced. I think that was the one that I'm not saying we have a mean streak.
I feel like I wish there was a way we could get like everybody's visual reaction.
Right. Oh, let's ask for that next year. If post your, at least have a post.
For the record, I'd rather be a bird.
Yeah, I'd rather be a bird than a fish, or vice versa, whatever it was. But
yeah,
having a post out there that's like, post a GIF with your reaction to what that final sentence is.
Like, please stop short of death threats.
Yeah.
If you
remember,
and if you like looking at these challenges too, you can go back on this channel. We did the Tale in a Day. We've done 2 of those this year, and you can watch the prompts episode where the kickoff, and then you can watch the conclusion. And on that one, we actually, because it's much shorter, it's basically flash fiction, very short stories. We actually I actually read them, so you get to hear the dulcet tones of my voice reading these these tales. And we got some really great submissions, but it was always a bunch of interesting prompts that you don't necessarily think they go well together. Yeah, we could have the reveal on Open Zoom chat. Maybe.
Like a YouTube AutoCrit reaction.
It does feel like that, yes.
A blind
that moment when Gareth told them that the ending must involve a ginormous marshmallow.
Yes, Tale in a Day is another.
You must use those exact words.
Genuinely a day.
You must use the exact words, ginormous marshmallow, just to irritate all the grammar conscientious people.
Like,
yes.
Ugh, the word ginormous.
I like to trigger authors with that word.
Everybody has to have a hobby, though, Daniel. I'm glad that's yours. Let's see. Chuck, maybe email Jocelyn. Any job openings?
Hugest. Okay, I'm with you, Lori. Hugest is cringe. I can handle ginormous. Hugest is just ugh.
I've seen a few, and I don't know if I don't know if we've fully addressed this, but a few folks, is there a way I can tell, that my confirmation where my submission was received? Is there, so how can I be sure that the right file is up there? You should get a confirmation to your email once you submit your story for consideration for the anthology. So that'll come to your email, and it sends immediately. So be sure to check junk and spam and the places where sometimes our AutoCrit emails may wind up. If you have unsubscribed to our email list, then you definitely won't see that or really anything that we see you. So bad idea. You should resubscribe for sure, because we do fun things. And last but not least, you can always, if you have any questions about what version of the file you uploaded, what file name you put in there, if it came through okay, use that little blue bubble in the bottom right-hand corner of AutoCrit.com and just ask our support team to have a look. And we can look in there and see your file, get the file name, open it up, make sure that the font didn't get all garbled. So no worries. If I know this is a big deal, so if you have concerns, hit that little blue chat. Mark, Kevin, get ready. Chat bubble.
Talk
And
about opening
we'll
Pandora's
have a look at
box.
it for you. Yeah, absolutely.
The tidal wave.
Because wouldn't that be the worst to be like work so hard through this whole challenge, get to the end, submit it, and there's I don't know, an error, or you just want a little extra comfort and you don't receive that. So yeah, we can help with that.
Yeah, and I think the way it's built and works at the moment is when you upload, it will redirect you through to the feedback offer. If that happens, it's uploaded. Don't worry, fine. That's been successful.
Yeah.
I caught a comment there. Franca replied to the email, confirmation email from Jocelyn. Yeah, that's great. That'll get through to us.
Awesome. Oh, Brian had some weird bold and font issues on export. So I think that'd be fine. So Gareth, are you able to pop his manuscript open and just make sure? Here's what I wouldn't want to happen. Like, we get this manuscript and it's got weird words bolded, and we wonder if you're trying to add emphasis, and we're like, this story's got such a strange cadence because he's really emphasizing, a specific word that doesn't
sound like Jeff Goldblum. It's like, and he walked through the place and
Oh, Brian. Okay, good. Brian says he got his fixed prior to submission. But yeah, if you're exporting from a Scrivener or even a Google Docs, whatever, to get it into that docx file format or a .txt, do before you upload it, export it, just open it on your computer and just give it a little visual check, save it, and then upload it, just to help give you that extra kind of feeling of confidence, that little extra.
Yeah, RTFs as well can sometimes be a little weird.
RTFs are weird
when you're exporting into them. Again, don't worry too much about that. If the RTF has gone a little bit, we like to say skewiff. If it's gone a wee bit weird on you, don't worry. If things seem a little strange when it comes through, we're not going to slap it down immediately for that. Yeah, RTFs can be weird.
RTFs can be weird. Pat, absolutely. .doc is also fine, totally fine. So .doc, .docx, .txt. What's the other one, Gareth? Daniel, do you remember? Please don't submit a PDF.
Oh, was it? Yeah, .doc, .docx, .rtf. Is pretty much it, or .txt. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Wow. Okay. I think and says it changed all my curly quotes to straight ones. Yeah, it does that. And yeah. I'm just sorry. You guys talk while I scroll through these comments.
Let's do some background music.
Franca, yes, good.
Yeah, as we enter our final few minutes as well, if we have missed a question that you've asked, please comment. Yes, bring it back to the front for us. We'll make sure you get covered before we finish.
Absolutely.
And yeah, thanks so much to all of you for such a fun 2 weeks. Thanks from us to all of you for taking part. It wouldn't happen without you. It's kind of what it's our little symbiotic relationship between us. It wouldn't happen without all you guys really taking part and getting in. So, give yourself a pat on the back simply for being here right now with a story under your belt. It's an achievement. Well done to everyone.
Look at Kara. I just want to pull this up really quickly. So Kara had no inspiration until I took a walk in the woods last Tuesday. Then finally had an idea and wrote and edited this weekend. Exhausted. Yes. Wow. That's amazing.
That's awesome, though. That's how it works sometimes.
So awesome. Getting inspiration sometimes we talk about all the ideas and they won't even get organized in our heads, and there's so many of them. But sometimes you go to pick one from the well and the well is empty and you're like, what? Where did you guys go? Where did all my ideas go? No. So thankful you were able to get out into nature and find some inspiration and then do furious writing, editing, polishing, etc. Oh, good question. Last year you didn't have to submit to win a drawing. Same this year? Correct. I almost said yes, and I was like, yes, what? So that is so anyone who has entered the writing challenge at all. So if you've been here with us this week, you signed up on the first day or before, you've been getting those daily emails. For every one of those daily emails, you did get an extra entry if you clicked through and did your accountability. But our system is tracking all of those behind the scenes. So if you registered for the challenge, you are entered to win one of our fabulous prizes. And you don't have to submit in order to win a prize drawing, but you do have to submit in order to get into our, I love having a prop here, guys. Am I right? Get into our trophy anthology. Oh, look near me.
Thank you.
You're so welcome, Naomi. And that is what it's all about.
It is.
Indeed.
Having fun, being creative. Just
me Corathon. I mean, when we started this thing last year, it was really spurred on by the beginning months of the COVID pandemic, because so many people were, again, at home, and we wanted to give people something to focus on and really make the most of the situation. And it was so good last time that even as we exit all of the madness, we thought, hey, bring it back, and it's going to be a regular thing. Believe us, this will be much more regular going forward, because I think, as everybody's kind of saying here in the comments, it's been that distraction or that push or whatever was necessary to sit down and get these stories out. I see some comments there in terms of, this thing has been brewing in me forever, and I just needed the opportunity or the push to sit down and do it. And that's really what we want to help with.
Look at that. Word sprints. I love that. And Anne, I wonder if you were one of the participants who said this was their first kind of write-in. And I have to tell you, we did a write-in as part of this challenge, and we did them throughout NaNoWriMo when we were a title sponsor there this year. And I was new to them, a year ago as well. And I remember thinking, this is the weirdest idea in the whole wide world. I cannot imagine. But then I get on Zoom with a bunch of authors who just want to write and feel like they're part of something and have that accountability. And, set a timer, play some music, mute the music, mute me, mute everybody. And you just write. Because it's just about having, knowing somebody's counting on you to be there and committing, clicking that button saying, I'm going to attend this write-in. Just gives you that extra bit of accountability. And the timing for me is massive, because setting a 15-minute timer, and you can do anything in the world, almost anything in the world for 15 minutes, including writing, which we all love to do. So setting a little timer and just making sure that it's hands-on keyboards for 15 minutes, it helps get those words out, especially that first draft. Oh, yeah. Anne hadn't done one before. Cece Sullivan hadn't done one before. So much fun. Oh, goodness.
I'm gonna drop a spoiler here, because Franca has just accidentally uncovered a little bit of gold there. Says, my story is actually a prequel to a book I've been trying to write. I was out of ideas. This competition gave me the push I needed. One of our prizes tomorrow is going to be from our esteemed guest and friend, Rain Hall. And it is her book on using short stories to promote your novels. So that will be up for grabs, because that is actually something really good. You could write short stories set within the world of your larger works to draw attention to those.
Yep.
That's perfect. Oh, and Penny got Penny working on a story. Wasn't even sure I was going to write. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay. I think so it's 2:03. We're 3 minutes over the top of the hour. I think we're caught up with the questions in the chat. If you're watching this live and we missed your question, feel free to hit that blue bubble, the little chat bubble on the bottom right-hand side of AutoCrit.com, our regular website. And our support team is standing by and ready to answer any questions that we may have missed. Other than that, I think we are all caught up. Submissions for the 2021 AutoCrit Community Writing Challenge are now open. Now, remember, this is a short story that you've written during the challenge. So it's idea to draft to polished perfection and ready to submit for our trophy anthology in just 14 days. Today is the last day. Submissions are now open. Those are open through noon tomorrow, Tuesday, May 25th. Did you see my eyes go over to the corner so I could check the date? Getting it right this time. So Tuesday, May 25th at noon is the deadline for those submissions if you want to be considered for our 2021 trophy anthology. And please, please, please join us back tomorrow, Tuesday, May 25th at 1 p.m. for our grand finale. There will be sequins, there will be fireworks, there will be confetti. And that's just from me and Daniel. Who knows what Garrett's going to do? Am I right? Sorry, you had dibs on sequins this year. Spoiler. Definitely come on back tomorrow and celebrate your accomplishments and join us for the prize drawings. We have some fantastic prizes ready, and that will be a random drawing. You don't have to be present to win, but we sure would love to see you there. And with that, thank you so much, everyone, for participating. I'm so happy that you had such a great time. We did as well. Daniel, Gareth, any final words?
I would just say I agree with Anne. Everybody get cracking on their next one.
Yeah, right. You've gotten this inspiration. Keep that momentum going, everybody. You've developed some great writing habits over these last 14 days. You've gotten some goals accomplished. Keep it up. Keep it up.
Absolutely do. Keep on writing. We will see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.
Bye.